Chapter 2. Fine-tuning your approach to the Danish job market. The Danish workplace has a flat structure, which means you're unlikely to find a position in which a boss tells you what to do, and then you do it, and then the boss tells you what to do next. In Denmark, a boss is more of a coach or a team leader type figure. He or she gets power not from a position or a title, but by being able to rally the people on a team to do good work. Danish companies are looking for people who can take the initiative and solve problems without being told what to do every step of the way. And because Denmark is a small country without a vast reserve of labor, you need to be flexible on the job, ready to take on challenges that might not be exactly what you were hired for. When Danish employers talk about international workers behind their backs, they often whisper, "They can't think for themselves." Well, this isn't true, of course, but if your home country's work culture involves a hands-on boss who directs your every move, you might need to fine-tune your approach to the Danish job market. If you want a job in Denmark, you need to show that you understand a company's needs and that you can come up with some fresh ideas to help them address those needs. You have to turn up with a lot of ideas and a lot of enthusiasm and act as if you're not just looking for a job, but a challenge. The first question, of course, is, how do I get from my home country to Denmark? Many Danish companies advertise their top job openings online and in English. You can apply directly from wherever you live. It is not necessary to speak Danish in your initial approach to the Danish job market, although it will be helpful if you actually find yourself moving to Denmark. Some entry-level serving jobs in bars and restaurants are also okay with hiring people who do not speak Danish, and so are some trendy shops that cater to a younger target group. Your next hurdle, however, will be the work permit process, which depends on your citizenship. Citizens of the Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland, can live and work in Denmark at any time and with very little fuss. They don't even need a passport to enter the country. Citizens of the European Union, meanwhile, can simply show up in Denmark and begin working, although they will need to go through the formality of applying for a residence permit after 3 months. EU citizens can also live in Denmark for up to 6 months while looking for a job. The tricky part comes if you are neither a Nordic nor an EU citizen. You will need a permit to work in Denmark, which isn't always easy to achieve. In most cases, a company will need to sponsor you. These sponsorships are a little bit easier if what you do for a living is on the positive list, which is a list of workers whose expertise is needed in Denmark. The positive list is updated every 6 months. Do a search for Positive List Denmark to find the latest version. In addition, researcher jobs and highly paid jobs are currently fast-tracked in the Danish Worker Visa program, which is designed to help Denmark bring in top people from around the world. Otherwise, you will be at the mercy of Denmark's Siri immigration agency, which will put you and your potential employer through a more or less arduous process to get you the approvals you need. Bigger Danish companies tend to have more HR people accustomed to dealing with the work permit system and often have a dedicated contact person at Siri, which oils the wheels of the approval process. Getting your first approval with the weight of an eager company behind you is often easier than getting subsequent approvals if you decide to stay in Denmark. Your first stop to learn about any field in Denmark is the union for that field. Do an online search and find out which union in Denmark takes care of your particular field. The Danish word for union is fagforening, which is different than an A-kasse, although they're often run by the same group of people. Confusing, I know. If you need to transfer professional qualifications from your home country to Denmark, the union can tell you how to do that. Your second stop is the Danish trade press about your field. For example, in the IT field, it's computerworld.dk. For engineers, it's ing.dk. For the life science industry, it's medwatch.com. If you're in advertising, check out bureaubiz.dk. See which companies are in your field, who's doing well, and who's firing people. Don't forget startups, which are often quite open to hiring newcomers. Find out if there's certain skills in your field that Danish companies need, and then focus on these skills as you market yourself. Think about past projects you've done that demonstrate your most valuable skills. Danes are always more impressed by projects and results than they are by degrees and certificates. Follow the trade press and the companies you're targeting on social media. When there's a story that addresses the topic you know something about, post an intelligent, information-rich comment using your real name. This will get your name in front of some of the people in your industry who might be interested in hiring someone like you. Do this on a regular basis so you start to build up some momentum. Commenting in English is fine, even if the original post is in Danish, but it should be very good English. Now, when I write in Danish, I always cut and paste the text into a Microsoft Word document to check for major spelling and grammatical errors. You can try the same technique for English. If someone responds to your comment, thank them and add additional information if you can. Then send them a connection request on LinkedIn, personalized to say how you know their name and what value you can offer them if they connect with you. Never send the standardized connection request. I get dozens of these every day, some of them from people in faraway countries with no clear reason to connect with me, and I have to admit, I just delete them. The goal is to build a network and build yourself as a brand name in your industry. Denmark needs people with your expertise. Now you just have to show people what you can do. And you can start doing this before you ever arrive in Denmark.